All right. Trust that everything is fine and that we are marching on well. My name is Sandanya Humphrey Blessings, and there is need for me to, of course, start putting in place information that is relevant for myself, those close to me, and of course, everybody under the sun for the sake of the future that we intend to really have. I like doing this type of videos, of course, for knowledge sharing and for advancement of information and making information available in all aspects of life. So it is in order and it is proper. To my age, I don't want to dispute the fact that I've experienced so many things. I've come across many decisions. Some are good, some are technical, some are not good, of course. And most of the decisions I used to make when I was young are the ones that probably were not so much gravitated towards the integrity that is required. But from sometimes later, when I hit the age of 12, let's say from 10, I began to forge and making decisions that I cannot regret of to date. At recently is when I've been realizing it's been a while, in a season of about 8 years. Most of the things that have been happening to my life have shown me that majority of the things that have been experiencing are in conjunction with the God's purpose to my life. And that is to mean, and if I'm not wrong, there are people in this generation that God has already called them for a purpose, and there's a mission that they have to pursue, and there's a mission that they have to take care of. So such people, their life is actually controlled by another force, and the decisions as to which you make, some of them are actually controlled by God Himself. And God may make some things to happen, and He may also make some things not to happen because He's protecting you for a particular mission and a particular purpose of life. So I'm very, very privileged to be here today. I'm a consequence of many, many choices and decisions. I'm a consequence of bitter revelations and stories. But today I can say with one accord that everything is quite fine. And I can stand here or sit here and say, God is so gracious to me. I've tried to educate young people on every aspect of life. But it always retaliates back to the spiritual origin. And I don't know how best and how many can really understand and believe in these facts. Life becomes almost impossible, and it becomes so challenging and so stressful if your spiritual angle is not correct and it's not clear. We chase a lot of things. We chase education, we chase employment, we chase fashion. We want to dress well, drive good cars, eat good food, sleep in better houses, even the best. But our spiritual notion is not so neat, and that makes the entire game to become an impossible mission. You may not understand. You will see things as they are, and you'll think they're just okay and they're meant to be like that. But in reality, that's not true. There's something else that you must take into account even as you pursue your life and your objectives here on earth. I pray to God to allow me to be one of the finest in terms of mental fitness and wisdom wise. And of course, there's a lot that I want to achieve in terms of life objectives. And I'm already having many things in operation and rolling out. But if today is really my last day, and you ask me, Humphrey, what is your greatest achievement to now? The answer is very simple. My greatest achievement is having Christ in my life. And I don't say this for public domain or for visibility, but I mean what I say. And of course, I know what I'm saying and why I'm saying so. So it's something that is very crucial and very sensitive. And doctrines have been created out here, and people are actually speaking and doing many things under the sun. But there is always a way out. I see young people everywhere under the sun. They want to buy cameras, they want to go online, they want to be on Snapchat, on TikTok, on IG, because somebody has told them there is easy money there. You get likes, you get viewers, you get paid. Yeah, the easiest way to earn from internet is to work against the will of God. And of course, because God allowed us to choose things, then we choose. And majority of the people who earn big on the internet, I don't mean their content is not commented, but at some point they miss the niche. They miss, they disconnect somewhere. And if you check, you do a cross check of what God is expecting of us and what they do, there is somewhere there is a disconnect. So ironically that some of them come on media and on TV and they begin by saying, I thank God for this far He has taken us. The life is so, it is informality. So we may not really say that's not true. God may open your way through any formats whatsoever. But if it's really God's will that you should grow in that format, then God will also bring regulations to your thoughts and to your heart. So there are things you will not just do. I watch a lot of comedians. They are very educative, and I don't want to mention them here. Some are promoting talents, and some are actually empowering the youth through the lessons that are portrayed by their stories. But some are spreading immoral behaviors to the youth and to the children of this generation. And I don't think that is what really God wanted us to be like, or to really have it as part of the story. So it's so challenging and so ironical, but at the end of the day, we choose whom to become and we choose what to do. One day you'll be no more. When you finish life on earth is when you'll discover that there's a spiritual life that you did not invested on. And it's beyond going to church, and it's beyond praying, and it's beyond reading and doing what God is saying, like giving back to the community. There is an arithmetic, there is an equation, a function that you must put every factor where it should be. And that is when you can win and achieve the end result of going to heaven one day, and of course living the heavenly life here. There's no need for argument about who is correct and who is wrong. There's no need for interreligion conflicts. There's no need for pointing fingers for those who are not doing it correctly. And there's no need for even trying to meditate to disapprove those who've succeeded you in terms of preaching the good news under the sun. The best you can do is to just work out yourself. And when I speak of working out yourself, for those who join our events on the Women's of Excellency in PMAC, you realize that the current topic we are discussing is on investing in yourself, which is a consequence of many decisions. It's not a one day's encounter, it is a process, and one of the areas that you must invest yourself in so much is your spiritual anchor. And you must bring into existence the spiritual principles and the spiritual realities. Looking for a good job, you'll get them. It's just a matter of time. Or some of you already have them and you are already earning in good amounts, and in your thoughts you are like, I have to pay the 10% for God, and I have to invest and I have to save. These are knowledge. You are not born with them. You got them here on earth, and somebody manipulated your thoughts to think like that. Well, it's a way to go because you must be stable and meet the basic requirements of the universe, and so is the spiritual requirements. But as we move forward, I will prefer people to be as independent as they can. Myself, anyway, these things I tell you people sometimes I don't record because of people. I record because I can look at myself and say, Humphrey, you are growing. This is not the guy you used to be last year. I can look at myself and say, young man, this is not what you are supposed to be. You can be a better person than this. Then that ignites in me a force of action and a direction to take and a momentum to tilt. And when I do so, then I come to realize that I'm becoming better of myself every day. I know what I'm saying. People are ignorant, of course, and people may not even do whatsoever things we tell them. You guys, you're not new into information. Many of this information, you have them. But you've come these levels of knowledge. You've become people with similar problems because you ignored information. We told you intimate relationship is not fine. You went ahead, you did it, you got infections, you got pregnant, then things turned around. I don't mean that is the end of life because I cancel such people and we are having a very, very good life. God can forgive you from your past odds and make you a new kid. And you have a new foundation and you get into bigger heights with bigger stories of success. But I'm picking it from that point of disagreeing with the facts. Then this is still happening even today. There are things you know for some people and you ignore just rationality. You just don't want to do it. Yes, you just don't want to do it. And when you don't want to do it, then it becomes a crisis and it becomes a situation that cannot be reversed. And that's the danger of ignorance, of course. We must live as if tomorrow is not there, and we must prepare ourselves as if we will never die. That is not to mean you enjoy it to the fullest and exhaust your accounts and your savings. I understand many people don't have savings now due to challenges of inflation in the country and beyond. But you'll get there for sure. But I want to give you a secret of living a good life. Live as if there's no one close to you. When you dress neatly, don't dress because you want a comment when you leave your house. When you speak fine English, don't speak because you want somebody to say you have a good accent. When you walk, don't walk as if you want somebody to say that you are walking neatly and smartly. Do things as if you are the only person existing. Let all your moves and your decisions be anchored towards you being the most profound of your kind, and then distribute these fine characters to your children when time gets there, or if you have them, you can start as early as now, or increase on what you've already started. I wish you guys you could understand what's happening in the spiritual world. All we chase in the physical world is just in vain. It's all anchored in the spiritual world. You just need to go there, make things correct, and come back here and wait because it will manifest. It's just a matter of time. I wish all these young, beautiful ladies and gentlemen could be spiritually upright. Imagine with your first class, with your good job, with your good house, with your good couple, and then you're spiritually upright. Oh, that's the best thing, I tell you. It's the best thing. I may not preach here, or rather give you doctrines, but I know exactly what I'm saying. This is the hardest message to pass to the universe. The message for people to believe in their creator. You got a smartphone. You believed when you touch the screen, things will happen. Because you touched and things happen, then when you get the next smartphone, you don't need to ask or think or even doubt if it can work like that. Things of God, I don't know if they retaliate with that speed. Because things of God, you don't get evidence immediately. Sometimes there is need for patience and wait for things to manifest. And that's what distinguishes God from human beings because he has his own way of doing things. People finish the bracket of 100 years without enjoying to the fullest what God has packaged for them. But they enjoy what their efforts has resulted to their lives. So they go and push hard and get money, buy houses, Wi-Fi, internet, everything, and now they spend that, go to the beach, swim, do these stuffs, and they feel okay. Let me ask you, majority of you have done things already. Do you think any difference? Do you see any sense of value addition on the things you've already done? Do you think swimming and party and happiness and all this has added anything special to your life? In most cases, it comes with damage and losses because you spend money, you clear your accounts, people will be, your car will hit a road when you're drunk or something like that. And then things goes, astray. But the few young people, brilliant, bright, beautiful, handsome, with the glory of God in their hearts, trust you me, you are the best people existing under the sun. And unapologetically, you're the best, I tell you. And if you meant to do any type of investment today to the times to come, I advise you just concentrate on the spiritual investment because that is where you begin. Though you can do parallel investment, you can invest on your spiritual growth at the same time you're investing on your academics, the same time you're investing on your business, your work, plus many other big things you can do. But do you think God created you to live the life you're living? There's no cash, there's no everything. Do you think God created you to be crying in your bedroom because your husband, your wife, your girlfriend or boyfriend has hurted you? Do you think that is the person that God created to be? We are not like politicians, for instance, as an example, to come on podiums and speak things we aren't sure of or lie to people. We are not ordinary fellas, I tell you. People with the righteous call, people with the heart that God has blessed. Sometimes they don't appear on media. Sometimes they don't do things for camera. Sometimes they don't do things because people are doing. These are fellas that their life is predestined and their life is justified and their life has a cause and a mission. So sometimes I know when I share content and people brush it out and I'm like, okay, there's no problem. What I'm recording is for myself and for my beloved ones, and that is the main mandate. And of course, I have many people that I value that my content can be helpful to them. There might be other people that we've not had an encounter that will come across this voice. It's a golden voice indeed, and it's a voice that carries not just mere words, but each time I open my mouth to speak, I tell you. That's why I watch my videos. Sometimes God takes charge. And content that comes out of me sometimes is beyond what I prepare to speak. And for your information, I've never prepared for anything. Each time I want to record, I just want to compose myself. And I know that God and the Holy Ghost will take charge and things will just go as it's planned. Those who listen to the end, sometimes you realize that the way content is packed in my videos, it is sort of a very, very well prepared presentation. Sometimes it's not, because God knows the hearts of the people who are going to listen to this after I finish. It may be one person, and that's always my mission, to help one person. And if you're the person, then my mission to you is for you to help another one fellow. These are famous philosophies that great men under the sun utilize to change lives. And I believe that those great men who are yet to be born may also implement the same formulas, and we make this world a better place. One day we will not be there. We will finish life and go, and gone, never be seen again. But those we leave behind, we want to tell you that the best you can do for yourself is to help others and think about others, okay? Invest in people. You can invest finances, knowledge, abilities, and any other thing of kind. Don't do it and expect something in return. In fact, the people you help are the one who can persecute you and even hurt you and even ensure that you don't see tomorrow. They may plot your end, but once you have God in your control, there's no end that is artificial. You must have your natural end one day. Here we overcome many challenges and many temptations because we believe in the supernatural. We believe in God and we believe in what He says. And that is it, and that's who we are. One day we'll be big. One day we'll go far. One day we will finish life. But even as we do so, we know why we do what we do and the reasons why it is done as it is done. So I want to challenge you all to be focused and be intelligent enough and be yourself. Don't lie and don't just cheat anyhowly, and don't just be a mere reckless human being. Let your soul be useful. Let your soul be written in people's minds. Let your name be everywhere in people's hearts. You know why? Because you're bigger than what you can see on the mirror. You are actually an agent of change, and that is what God created you for. I know you can, and you have to try this, and you will manage.